Welcome to video 2 of our firewall training session. In this video, we want to talk about how DHCP applies to assigning a machine an IP address. And that's important because when we start talking about the DHCP rules or the firewall rules and DHCP rules, we want to understand how we get an IP address to a machine so that we can then apply specific rules. In this scenario, we're going to assume we are an organization that bought a Class B network of 55.6. We've predetermined as a business that 6.1 is going to be for our routers, .2 is for our switches, .3 is for our Windows servers, .4 is for our NICs, and whether that's Unix or Linux servers, .5 is going to be the accounting team, .6 is the IT team, and .7 is human resources. In our scenarios today, we will have 3 different resources. We will have our accounting person, Alyssa, we'll have our IT nerd, Mike, and we'll have our HR person, Pat. Alyssa has a machine with the MAC address of 001122334455. Mike has the computer with a MAC address of 99.88.77665544. And Pat's machine has the MAC address of 009911882277. And so what I want to talk about first and foremost is a situation where there is no firewall in place. When we're at our organization, we built our DHCP server. There's no firewalls in place for this scenario. Alyssa gets her brand new computer. The first time she gets this computer, it is going to have the MAC address of 001122334455. Before bringing that computer out to her, the IT team goes to their DHCP server. And you can do this directly on the server, or you can have a web interface or an application interface that writes this. And they're going to say that 001122334455 is put in subnet 5, and we know that this is our accounting subnet. So we have just made a business decision that .5 is accounting. We want this MAC address that's assigned to this user to always be in that environment. And so when Alyssa turns her computer on, DHCP, if it's configured, as most of the time it is, the DHCP protocol will send out a discover packet, DORA discover offer request acknowledge. It'll send out a discover packet. It's a UDP packet on port 67. So it sends that out and it broadcasts it to the network. That broadcast comes out and the DHCP server, which doesn't have a firewall, has a service running that what makes it a DHCP server is we've installed a DHCP application, configured it. It hears that request because there is no firewall. So it sends this packet out. It hits this machine. The DHCP server looks at it and says, you're right. I see your MAC address, 001122334455. You're requesting an IP address. Good news, that's what I do. I'm going to look at the set of rules that I have. I look at a rule and I find 001122334455, and I go, oh, you belong in subnet 5. And so it looks through its available IP addresses, anything from 55.6.5.1 to 55.6.5.254. And it will assign it any random IP address that's available in that stack. And so without a firewall, that's how the DHCP server allows and sends and gives an IP address to the machine. Now, let's say, because realistically, we want there to be a firewall. So on our DHCP server, there is a firewall, and it's going to control and monitor traffic that comes into it. When Alyssa powers on her machine, it's going to immediately look at the DHCP protocol and say, yep, I'm configured for DHCP, send out the UDP packet on port 67, and let me know if there's a DHCP server available. So again, a packet goes out, it's going to the entire network. The DHCP packet is an entire network, so it doesn't have a destination. So its destination is broadcast. its source is its MAC address. At this point, it's its MAC address, so which is 001122334455. It's on port 67, and its protocol is UDP. That packet gets to the DHCP server. The DHCP server looks at it, and it does have a firewall. And it says, allow any incoming UDP traffic on port 67. So the rule for the DHCP server is allow any incoming UDP traffic on port 67. Now, for those of you that took the more advanced networking class, it will not leave your organization. Here's our organization border. It's a non-routable IP address. It has a private IP address at this point. It won't leave your organization. So we don't have to worry about there being a firewall at the border at this time. The firewall rule here looks at it and says, I'm allowing any incoming traffic from UDP port 67, passes it up to the DHCP server. The DHCP server investigates the rule that it has. Its rule is anybody with the MAC address of 001122334455 gets put in subnet 5. And so then Alyssa's machine automatically gets an IP address and the first available one of 55.6.5.1. And so Alyssa's machine now has IP address of 55.6.5.1. And that'll become important when we start talking about how the rest of the firewall rules work, because the rest of the firewall rules work off of IP address. So at this point, we've just covered how a DHCP server provides a specific subnet to a specific set of users based on rules on the DHCP server and the firewall that allows it through or blocks it based off of the traffic that's coming in. In our next couple scenarios, we'll start going through, we'll start adding more servers, more firewalls, and more rules. How'd that break? No!